This is the accompanying video to my final paving report. It all talks about new paving in my new hometown, Ada, Ohio. First thing it all started is on October 4th, I took a walk to the Ada Family Dentistry and I came across this truck. It's moving along nicely here. And I'm walking along following the truck. At any rate, what I didn't notice is if there were new paving, and I don't know if that guy was measuring new paving. At the time, I didn't know what he was doing, and you can see why here in a second. There's why. Look at all those Democrat yard signs.
Well, I am tickled pink.
Alrighty. There was a couple days of discussion regarding that house and that truck, and I used to have access to News and Info, 45810 News and Info. And we talked about it for a little while. Most important part is this long conversation here. And nobody in this long conversation, I don't know who this person is replying, but nowhere in here will you find somebody telling me, hey, there's new paving, go take a look. So I eventually did take a look, but not because somebody told me to. Now, this is the picture that I tested how to use 3D, and I'm not using it right. But anyway, besides that look around feature, this shows brand new paving on East Ballard and at the 302 carryout. Now that sparked my interest because that's a mixture of public, or government, public funded, and private business, which should be privately funded. So I decided to look into it. Once I started looking into it, I started a conversation with Jamie Hall, who is the Ada Village Administrator. Here he sent me a bunch of documents that I reviewed first, and then after I reviewed them, this was some additional documents, and then after I reviewed those, I got one last one. Now this one I haven't searched through. But the wildest thing about this is that Mr. Hall replied within hours of every request. It was amazing. I really wasn't anticipating that at all. So this is where I came to conclusions. I am now going to attempt to correlate my numbered items with pictures from documents I have received. Alrighty, the things I learned from this document is this: the village budget, 190 grand, and then the village estimate, which is, I think, from they doing their own measurements and previous prices and estimates, they came across that the actual dollar amount for the yardage would be that. Now, interesting also to note, the only one bid made it. But what I would like to know or see for 2025 is that the budget and this information, the budget and quantities, whether or not that's public prior to bidding. Because if it is public prior to bidding, it would make sure that people are able to do it. And it would prevent people making bids that they know if they can't make the budget, there's no point for them making a bid. And I only think that it's for maintenance projects, not, something you're fixing or repairing that you should share it. If it's a brand new, we need something built, you definitely shouldn't disclose the budget to prospective bidders, because if they can do it a whole lot cheaper, they'll bump up their bid to make it closer to the budgeted amount. But when you can actually do the math and get an idea of what the cost may be based on materials in the past or current materials as well, then there's no harm in disclosing it ahead of time. And I think it would help for transparency in the project. I would like to see a sixth item added to this list regarding the contractor attesting that there are no concurrent projects scheduled at the locations covered by this agreement. Now, it would be a minor aggravation to have somebody type another entry, but I have found that making people sign something like that when they have already done something they should make, well, I just think it makes it look better. One, it shows other people that if there is projects that have collected that show up after the contract signed, then there's a document showing that there's no way that that should have occurred behind like a backdoor agreement. I know it seems trivial. I mean, like I said, it'd be trivial. It'd be typing an extra sentence and they just have to sign it. It'd be up to them whether or not they want to prove it, but that's not the point. I think just having them sign it would make sure that people don't think that something's untoward. I mean, I just think it'd look good if there was a signed piece of paper saying that, nope, don't have any other business in the area as of the date that this is signed. Now, if they want to advertise that they won the bid and look for contracts, again, that would show everything's above board. This is the Village of Ada's website, and this is actually the front page, or at least it may be where I left off the last time I was there. But under news, you will see the talk of this project, but there's no pictures. And the date of the notice is 10/14. Now, the project for 2024 was supposed to be done by October 1st. Now, if it was done on time, great. If it wasn't, are we going to make sure that the bill reflects the contract, specifically the penalty clause for not being done on time? In the future, I think notices like these would come with pictures. As you can tell, something that occurred on the Monday 30th project update wasn't posted for 2 weeks. I think that if there's a project in 2025, we can make that a little better. Today's electronic age, man, you carry a phone around, you can take a picture and post it right away. Mention in the report that I'm concerned about the use of the word emergency in resolutions in local governments, and I still would like not to see it. But I know where I can look to see if there's other resolutions coming and up and what's going on, because you can watch the local village meetings, village council meeting they call it, right here with the Zoom link. Now, I'll probably attend more of them once I start thinking that it's on Tuesday. I keep looking on Thursday, then realizing I missed it because it was on Tuesday. But I can watch them. The next one coming up's on election day. Wonder if that'll be exciting. But I plan on being there, or not being at the meeting, following the Zoom link. Now, one of the things I wanted to search for between the paving company and the local government is whether or not there were people related to each other. So I did a search and I found a company, truthfinder.com, and at first I did through their general sign-in process, how they do their hook and advertising by making it look like they're searching deeply for information. And I wasn't going to pay for the service, so I went off because the results were kind of inconclusive. But they sent an email saying, hey, you can do it, or not an email, they sent a pop up saying, hey, you can try it for 5 days for $1. So I did. And I found out that Michael Gherkin, actually, it took a call to Bluffton Paving to find out which Michael Gherkin that was accurate. And I found some information, some relatives, and there's Jamie Hall is James Hall, and the person that CC'd on the emails was Michelle Bronk. And this did provide some information, like, for example, if they had Facebook pages, I could try to search to see if there were similar pictures. But it didn't have a list of names and possible family relationships, and I think that I'd have to do like an in-depth check within either another service or an individual. Anyway, I couldn't afford to do it. But I did learn some things about the family. For example, in Ohio, I know how, I believe, these people here voted in the last primary election, which is kind of nifty. Well, that concludes the accompanying video for that report. Anybody has any questions of me and want to talk about it further, yep, you can find me. My videos tell me where I'm at, and you can send messages or emails. Mr. Kevin Wagner at several others, or at several domains. Well, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend. Last thing I want to do today is maybe a report on my visit to Ada Family Dentists. Have a good one.